Mm. You know what it is? We are back. Caesar, please tell him when was the last time we did an episode.
Um, 20 March.
Damn, no, it was June. It was June.
I mean, I'm not that crazy off.
It's a few months off. You know what I'm saying? The last time was June. The last time was episode 300.
Mhm.
And then, we were like, we're going to go on a hiatus. You know what I mean? We were thinking, should we change the podcast? Should we just be all about rap and hip hop? Should we just be a reaction channel to academics? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what should we do? But we're like, you know what? Let's just come back. We're still the best ever soccer podcast of all time.
This is true. I really think there's no competition still.
We gave other platforms a chance to come in and be better than us. They didn't do it. So, we got to come back and get it cracking.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really not trying to like be like that for real, but honestly, I feel like in the time we've been gone, I still haven't found something that gives like a little bit of at least what we give to the plate. Like, well, we provide the insight and like just how we, I think, view the game and talk about the game. I really haven't seen, I've seen people do patches of it in different spaces, but I haven't seen anybody put the body of work that We Made It podcast puts in for soccer.
Even the French league podcast, like they're only doing once every 2 weeks now. I'm like, even they fell off.
Yeah,
Like,
because now they're like, damn, our league fell off hard. Leon 0-4. What are we talking about here?
but you know what I mean? We're back. We made a podcast back in the building. We're not going to be doing no more Portuguese numbers. That's old now. You know what I'm saying? Caesar got COVID. You know what I mean? It's all good. I never seen no picture of a negative test. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do.
And you
But
never will.
exactly, because it's positive. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully in a couple weeks we can get that new booster. You know what I mean? Make sure you stay updated on your vaccines, people. Don't be an idiot.
Please
Today,
don't.
though, it's international break right now. You know, that's cool, whatever. We're not gonna talk about no international matches like that.
You hate this. I
I
do too. I haven't been enjoying it much either. Oh, I hate it too. I hate it too.
I
Only
don't hate it.
because they do a bad job of dispersing the content. You just don't know what's going on where. You don't know. And
Yeah.
then you see the video and it's the blurriest thing. I'm like, wow, this game was recorded in 480p on a cell phone again. Well, I didn't know Germany didn't have good cameras there. I was
Literally.
like,
I thought it was my
what is this quality?
I thought it was my computer. I'm like, damn. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna talk about something that's like this has been a big story, and it's gonna continue to be a big story for the whole season. Caesar with the COVID cough on mute. It's gonna continue to be a big story this whole season. The circus and the drama that is Paris Saint Germain Dupree,
Free.
so deaf.
I missed hearing that.
I wonder is what's the other guy? Saint Germain, the one player. I think he's on Lorient right now.
First of all, yeah, there's multiple saints in French soccer. There's Saint Germain, who I do think is at Lorient, and then there's also our boy Saint Maximilian Pegasus,
Yes, who's
who's
in
now
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia balling out, getting chubby. I love it. Seeing the day, I'm like, damn, they're getting kind of chubby out here. I kind of like it.
Oh, for sure.
He's getting real chubby out there.
What,
He's probably having crazy amount of hummus right now.
I forgot his first name or last name.
Who?
Oh,
Who?
Valerie Germain. Yeah, that's right.
Valerie. Yeah, Valerie.
Something like
That's
that.
kind of a cool name.
Oh, Montpellier. He's on Montpellier. No, wait, what the hell? MacArthur. What's that?
MacArthur.
Oh, he
That
went to
club.
go play. He went to go play in Australia. Oh, that's cute.
That's actually really cool.
That's
That's
cool.
dope.
All right, that's cute. Okay,
That's a dope sign off place.
okay, let's get into this because Zoom be tripping.
Zoom be like, get the fuck off.
Literally. Anyway, Caesar, there's so much to talk about when it comes to PSG. I want to start off. We're going to do this in three sections. I want to start off first of all. The big drama that started in June was your boy Kylian Mbappe sending a formal letter to the Paris Saint Germain brass saying that he would not take up the 1 year option extension on his contract, but he's happy to play the 2023-2024 season, but he's not extending. What did you think when you heard that, sir?
I just when this drama started, I was like, "Oh no, here we go again." It's episode 3 of this reality TV show, which is Mbappe v PSG Brass. And when I say Mbappe v PSG Brass, it's not me putting onus on Mbappe. I think, it's easy to point the blame when it's a person versus a corporation because when we blame PSG, when you blame PSG, you're talking about a company. But like I'm always thinking to myself, this is an individual against an entire organization. Like
Sure.
when a PSG makes a decision, it's 85 people, it's staff, financial advisors, this guy, and then I forgot, I don't know what's his name, Khalifa or Khalifi,
Khalifi, yeah.
Khalifi. Like it's just a lot going on. I I actually was 100% on Mbappe's side because playing for another year, what does everybody always say? Oh, fulfill your contract. Okay, he said I'm gonna fulfill my contract. I'm just letting you know if I'm willing to leave this season now, but if you want me to stay, I'm not gonna be extending. Like I'm gonna be leaving. He basically said I'm just gonna finish my contract. That's it. My friend,
The
we
other thing is
already
an
went through
option.
this. We already went through this. You knew what you were getting into. I don't care how many properties or whatever islands you had to give up to get him to resign again or whatever, or humans. Doesn't matter. Here we are. Like he's fulfilling the contract. He's entitled to that as a human with worker rights. He's allowed to do this. He's not doing anything wrong or illegal.
And also the other thing is an option. Like he is an option to do it or not. And he's like, I don't want to take up that option. I want to leave at the end of this contract. And like you said, that's fair. Now, PSG obviously, being the not so honest brokers they are,
No.
they said that, well, if you don't extend or like basically if you don't take up that option, then we're gonna bench you for the whole season. And they ended up not taking him on the preseason tour in Japan. But anybody that knows sports, even but also knows PSG, knows that like if they weren't gonna let him leave on a transfer, like if they like the word is that Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid. You know, basically it was like, well, if he doesn't go to Real Madrid this summer, then there's no way that PSG is going to bench him for the entire season. Like, one, he's too good to do that. Two, like you just look so bad as an organization if you bench the best player in the world for the entire season because after he said he's happy to play for you for this season, like you look crazy doing that.
Yeah.
So of course they capitulated and said, "Okay, yeah, come on back." We even though like he didn't, even though like their first two matches they didn't even play that well with him, um, they had to capitulate, and you know,
PSG is a weird team. What a weird team. I've never seen a team with such little dynamic chemistry with like so many names and players. Like it's a team that has always the most stressful off season. Season starts, you don't know. I can only imagine. I'm always imagining how players like Marquinhos and other guys who've been there for so long just kind of deal with like trying to keep like a leader, a team leader. How do team leaders on this team, if there are any leaders, sorry, like no disrespect, but like how do they deal with keeping locker room positivity, chemistry, organization structure? Because one time Messi comes in, Messi leaves, Messi sneak dissing his way out, and then you come here, and then Mbappe wants to leave and come back, and then Neymar's here, and then all of a sudden Neymar is gone. It's just like, what the hell is going on? Like there's no sense of like direction, structure, or like it. I don't feel like PSG even has a plan. It's just like Here's
No.
off season, spend some money, try to keep somebody. If they don't want to go, they go and we feel like they're going. Spend a little random extra money again. Buy 3 left-footed right wingers. Move again. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what are you guys doing?
Like PSG is a culture. Like having watched them for forever and pay attention. Like it's all about the names. It's all about bringing in big names. And it's all about clout. And we saw that with the Messi transfer.
Yeah, I
It
mean
was
the
just
transfer in the announcement, it was like Clout Nation.
yeah, it was just and you know we said it from jump, and I even clipped a whole like a clipped up an episode of us talking about it each time, saying that it wasn't going to work, like it was never going to work. Um, I don't know, I forgot where I commented this, but I seen something where somebody was saying like talking about like Neymar and Mbappe, like it just not working with them, and I was like, the issue was because PSG like just doesn't have a real culture as a team. When like Neymar got there and he was like, okay, I want to play like how Messi plays at Barcelona. I don't want to be a left winger anymore. Like I want to be able to kind of just float around and do what I want. And like any kind of player with his skill set, like I understand that. Like you want to be able to just kind of play as a number 10 and like be in those forward positions and play how you want. But the thing is, Neymar naturally drifts left. Naturally.
Even
And
even to the times when PSG adjusted it, they even both guys showed discipline. They tried really hard. I could see they were trying
they
to
tried, it
make their
just,
spaces on the field. I swear to God, it wasn't for them not trying. They tried,
it,
but it's so engraved in the DNA for
it's
like
just,
Neymar to do it. He's 28, 29. Like
yeah,
he's
it's
gonna
just not
go
going to
there.
work.
But Mbappe's maturing. He's gonna go there. Like,
Like,
and we saw it. Like Mbappe wanted to go there too. They both want to be there so bad.
Mbappe is a left winger. Neymar will drift left. You're just going to be all in each other's way. When Messi got there, it's like you also have somebody who's like dropping away back. It's just not going to work. And I don't want to get into all that because we already knew it was
No,
going to work. We
no,
called
we
it
talked about that. We did
a
a
million
comparison.
times. The PSG fans were so excited. I'm like, dog, it's not going to work. Trust me.
Both two of those guys are gone,
Yeah. And one of them's going to be gone next year. but,
allegedly.
but it's just that they just like nobody there could be like when you spend that much money for Neymar, 200 something million, when you pay him that much amount, like that high salary, and then renew his contract and it's even higher, how are you gonna like tell him what to do at that point? Like he's just gonna do whatever he wants, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Um, I don't want to spend too much time on like the Mbappe thing because it was funny, but like now the season started and like he's gonna be there and like now we're playing football. You know, they got their Champions League group and like it is what it is. Let's talk about the transfer window that PSG had because they brought in hella people. I was calling them uh Nottingham Saint Germain on Twitter. Because
My goat, Nottingham Saint Germain.
because Nottingham brought in like 11 players last year. Like that's
And they
basically
did it a year before. They love doing this.
yeah. They like literally they're like, oh, we're in EPL. Let's bring in like 12.
Now they're farming Brazilians. They're just bringing every Brazilian they can find.
Smart. Um, so PSG started off like their big signing early was Gonzalo Ramos, who was a loan, but it's reportedly a mandatory loan to buy. Um, I'm just saying what they say. At 65 million,
Oh
which
my
is
god.
that first when I first saw it, I was like, that's
I'd
crazy.
rather you guys just bring Icardi back.
Like literally, dude.
I'm sorry. I'd rather get Icardi back for cheap money than to have that going on in my
Like
life.
65 million for Gonzalo Ramos is insane.
It just took one hat trick in a World Cup to just boost your valuation. What did he
Crazy.
do after that? Anybody want to ask him?
Nothing, dude.
No
The
one
next
want to
game,
check after.
the next game he was
It was
trash.
one game, and this man did this.
Crazy. They brought in Kengan Lee from Mallorca for 22 million, which I was kind of like, all right, whatever.
He's cute.
Um,
I like
they brought in Lucas Hernandez from Bayern for
good signing.
huh?
I like Lucas.
for 45
No,
million.
his knees are almost gone. He's two seasons away from busting knees. I've seen him run around. It's not like he's not like his brother's a real athlete. Like they're different. They're totally different.
Lucas Hernandez has never played 30 league matches for Bayern.
No,
Never.
Theo is a speed demon winger. This guy is a whole different story.
Lucas only played 7 matches in the league last season. Like he was
This
injured
man
all
is
last season.
he's an MCL away from playing in MLS. I'm telling you right
And 45 million. I'm like, dog, that's crazy.
45 million for Lucas Hernandez,
Yes.
who's
They
just
also
like
got
a converted fullback.
they also got Manuel Ugarte from Sporting Lisbon, who I've watched play. He's really good for PSG. Like this is like a really, really solid CDM, but for 60 million. I was like, dog. Now, but I'm not as mad at this one, although like 60 million for any CDM is kind of crazy. But he's 22 years old, and if you're thinking of like if you're thinking of like trying to get like 10 years out of this guy, like I get it. You know what I mean? But it's still a lot.
60 million
That's a
euros? What do you
lot,
got?
dude. Like,
Saudi Arabia? What's going on
like
here?
honestly, like no other team is paying more than like 22 million for this guy, dude.
I mean, I could see 30-ish, 30. I've
Yeah,
heard about him, but
he's
like
good.
60
60's
million?
crazy though.
That's such above market buying. That's
Crazy.
crazy.
And we've talked about it like 6 years ago how PSG has to overpay for players.
God.
They brought in Ousmane Dembele for 50 million. Then they brought in, which this was the transfer that I really was annoyed by because I was basically saying like if Mbappe is staying at PSG, this one sucks. They brought in Bradley Barcola from Lyon for
Yeah,
45,
no, that one was no,
and
no.
I'm just like, dog, you're
That was a
never.
petty buy. That's a
I'm like,
petty
you're
buy.
never gonna play, dude. You're
No.
never gonna play. Like you're only gonna play if literally if Mbappe's hurt. And like maybe because they also brought in Asensio for free and they got King and Lee too. Although I feel like King and Lee is not really up for it in France like that. And Asensio is like I told you, he's not a runner for real. Like he's not a runner. He's an outside the box shooter. But like Bradley Park,
It's like watching my son just try to do his thing. I'm like, oh, look at him out there in another league, just out there running around. This is trying to follow Jesse's footsteps at PSG.
literally, Bradley Barcola is a good player. Like I
That's
watch
a
him.
crazy amount of talent.
He's really good. He reminds me of Mbappe, honestly. Like he reminds me of Mbappe. He's a really good player, but I'm like, you don't like you can't afford a season like riding pine, maybe playing like 13, 14 games this season, dude. Like
No, he needs to be playing. That guy needs to be getting 35, 40 games a year.
exactly. And not just playing like the cup matches. Like you need to be like playing in like Champions League and stuff because he's a good player at his
That's
age.
back-to-back signings I hate from PSG. This one and last year's Sanchez, like Renato
Yeah,
Sanchez. Those
annoying.
are back-to-back signings that I hate for the players. I'm like,
Exactly.
I really don't like this for you at all. Like your
Exactly.
agent does not love you.
Exactly.
Like,
And then the late signing, which was really funny, and also like vastly overpaid, but like whatever.
yeah,
Randall Colomwani,
certified baller.
baller, 95 million. Lord.
That makes me really uncomfortable. But like, I'm not gonna lie, that don't say that number again. But listen, Colo is one of those guys where you watch, and in the first couple plays of him running around, you're like, there's some freak talent here. Like, careful. Like this guy is dangerous. Be careful. And he needed, and to see it, he had to get the hell out of Frankfurt. That's enough. It's enough of Frankfurt. They had a couple good years over there, and
Frankfurt or Mönchengladbach?
he's at Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
He's at Frankfurt. Like they had a couple Europa League deep runs. See
He
what
was
he can
there.
do.
He's there for one season.
Yeah, he had an incredible. No, it was 2 seasons.
He was there for one season.
No. He also had an incredible. He had a credible Europa League run. Like we saw how we can do, and we saw him what he can do at France. The guy has talent, like no doubt about it.
Dog, he was there for one season at Frankfurt. One season.
What he scored like 20 some goals?
Just last year.
He did pretty good though.
No, he scored 23 goals
like
all comps.
He's good. He's the kind of player. He's the kind of player. That's the kind of player that a PSG needs to have when you have all those guys running around. Because like he's just athletic, he makes things happen.
Good center forward.
He's vibrant. That's like the Moises Kean. Like he's the good guy you get after you lose Kean. You get a guy like that. Then I'm like, fine, but it's kind of late. We don't know what's going on. You already spent 65 million on Gonzalo Ramos. What are we doing?
And
90
90
million? You've spent over almost 200 million on two strikers when you already have Mbappe, you already have Asensio, you already have Dembele. Once again, PSG, there's one ball on the field.
literally.
You don't have a deep, talented midfield anymore, and your midfield's even more drier than it was before, to be honest. You lost Verratti. What are we doing, dog?
I like Randall Colomwani. I like him. He's a good player. I
Yeah,
remember him at Nantes. He was really good.
I agree.
95 million is insane. That's insane. Like insane.
Dollars or euros?
Euros. So it's $100 million.
Oh,
Like it's insane. But this is what I think PSG did when it came to the transfer window, like bringing in players. I think they said like, okay, like Mbappe's leaving. Like he's gonna leave for free. Let's try to win Champions League this year. And I think they got good players. Like you got somebody on the left, you got somebody in the middle, you got
and I
somebody.
think they're setting themselves up for the future, like you said too. I think it's a lot of like, we're not going to deal with this drama again. So if Mbappe leaves, at least we'll have something in the wings.
We got Barcola there.
Dembele,
We got
Barcola,
yeah.
Colo. We got people now. It's not like
Kang and Lee.
Mbappe's leaving and we have a dry ass team with Asensio and fucking Kang and Lee. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You do got some ballers there. You got some French
And
ballers.
they did smartly. They signed a lot of French talent. That's a lot of French talent.
Yeah, they got at least these. Lucas
Three
Hernandez.
French players that are all pretty much capped players, like international French players.
Bradley Barcola, I don't think he's gotten a cap yet. Let me double check. I think he's played like under 21s, but I don't think he's gotten a senior cap yet.
Barcola's one of those transfers that I hate.
I just hate it for him. I hate
top four. I hate top four league inter talent transfers. I hated it Germany with BBB to Bayern. I hate it in France. I hate those moves so much.
I just don't like that he's going this season. I wish that they said, okay, we're gonna we'll bring you
loan,
like
but
we'll
send
transfer
back.
you, but loan you back. Yeah, like because he's just not gonna play for real
at all.
Unless Mbappe gets hurt. Mbappe's never gotten hurt. I mean, at some point he's gonna get hurt.
Barcola's like super flexible too.
Yeah, no, Barcola's a ball. He left, right, like gets assists. Yeah. He can shoot the ball. Like he's a really good player. But let's talk about the transfers out. Obviously, before we get into the big ones. Icardi went to Galatasaray. Wijnaldum's out of there to Saudi Arabia Ittifaq. Paredes to Roma.
There's a million Saudi transfers. They spent $5 billion on transfers.
Renato Sanchez to Roma, but I think that's a loan. One of the ones that was kind of obviously Messi went to Inter Miami on a free. One of them that's kind of sad to me. I feel like it's kind of rough. Is it seems like Verratti is gonna just go during this international break. It doesn't look like he's going to get his last match for PSG. Very unceremonious.
Like, honestly, Roddy been there so long, man. Like that's messed up.
It's kind of messed up. He's going to Qatar. It's like
he was there when like Beckham was there, dude.
I'm wondering if Verratti just like came in like way out of shape or something like that. Like, did he just say like kind of F it and just like came in like 30 pounds overweight?
I do remember that Verratti's friends on a team. The star friends was not Mbappe. The star friends was Neymar and Messi were his best buddies.
Yeah, no, he didn't hang out.
So they both left, and I feel like he probably came in out of shape. He probably was like bad mood. He's Italian. He's kind of ratchet. And then they were just like, this is just intolerable. Just go play with Philippe Coutinho in Qatar.
Yeah, literally.
Go play in our home country.
Seriously. But the big one heading out was Neymar. Going to Hilal in Saudi Arabia for
champions. I'm sorry. No, sorry, they weren't the champions. Oh, bad.
Going to Saudi Arabia, going to Hilal in Saudi Arabia for 90 million.
Crazy.
It was kind of wild because like it happened fast. And obviously, like, I mean, I think it was Neymar's time to go. Like, it might have been like, I mean, he wanted to leave 2021. He said it himself, like he wanted to leave. He wanted to go back to Barcelona. I think Barcelona just like couldn't afford it. Neymar also wants to get paid a lot. Like, I don't think he's trying to go to Barcelona paying like cut wages.
I don't think he's taking no pay cuts. No, we saw that documentary. This man has a whole operation.
Exactly. So he's not taking no pay cuts. Absolutely. And so, Saudi Arabia was the best bet for him. Maybe before we before the season start, before the international break is over, maybe we can have an episode where we talk about Messi and then Neymar never playing in EPL, because we talked about that on the phone the other day, but maybe we could talk
We
about
did.
that.
Yeah.
But he also, after he left, he had a little interview. I'm sorry, he had a press conference where he talked about his time at PSG. They were talking about Messi, and he was saying that I was very happy for the year he had, talking about Messi, but at the same time, very sad because he lived both sides of the coin. He went to heaven with Argentina team, won everything in recent years, and with Paris, he lived hell. Well, we lived through hell, both he and I. We get upset because we're not there for nothing. We're there to do our best, be champions, try to make history. That's why we started playing together again. We came together so we could make history. Unfortunately, we didn't make it. Now, before you go, I just want to say, Neymar, you're a goddamn liar. And you know why you're a liar? Is because, dog, Messi said he didn't even want to go there. So Messi, and I think Messi said it before this. Messi said, I didn't even want to go to PSG. I would imagine that Messi told you, if y'all are friends, like, yeah, like honestly, like I ain't really want to come here. This is the only team that could afford what I wanted to do, because Messi wanted to make that money too.
Because we saw that Barcelona contract he won. It was insane.
Yeah, like Messi wanted to make a lot of money, so PSG was the perfect place for him to go, but he didn't really want to go there. So Neymar trying to like play the victim here when you're like the top three highest paid player in the world, get to just do whatever you want on the pitch. When you lose, the fans are supposed to be mad at you because y'all got three of the best players in the world. So I don't think you're living through hell. You just lost matches.
Neymar's a snake. He's always been a snake. He's been a snake from day one. You know, I will actually
don't say day one. You used to like him. You used to like him. Don't say day one.
I'm gonna say I really enjoy Memphis Depay a lot. He posted a goodbye to Neymar that was like
really,
it meant a lot to me because it was like that. It embodied exactly how I felt. Like he was like basically like because Messi Neymar passed Pele for the most goals in Brazil's history, which is a massive achievement. Like I could have never even said that he would be the one to do that. I would have never said that. I just thought he would have had a great career without even having to do that. That's incredible. That's an incredible feat. 80 goals with your national team is wild, especially for arguably the most formidable national team in history, you know?
Way more games than Pele though, but let's go.
Very much agreed. Yes, very much true. Pele was stomping out though, like either Serbia or Montenegro. I couldn't tell who. But but anyway, so also Pele's competition is kind of rough too. But anyways, you know, Depay said like a lot of players that are like really, really stylish or do their thing grew up and right now in the league watch Neymar. Like he was the guy, like he was the dude a lot of people were watching. He was like
Depay was saying this?
Yeah, Depay was like he was somebody I watched like a lot of players that are like have a lot of swag how they play. Yeah, people loved and said Messi was the GOAT or Ronaldo was the GOAT, but like the young people's champ was like Neymar. Like he was the one that was doing the FIFA tricks. Like no one was doing that. He's still arguably the guy to do that. No one does it really like that. He's still a lethal force, even though he's like 50 pounds heavier. But it's all good. I just think that I don't like that when he says this kind of stuff because it's like, number one, dude, you embodied everything of the opposite when it comes to pressure makes diamonds. That's not what happens with you. Pressure breaks you. It breaks you physically. It breaks you mentally. It breaks you all around, dog. And you couldn't get out of PSG and put yourself in a competitive situation in the world. You left to the biggest check again. You went to the biggest bag again, which is a non-pressure situation. No one's watching Fox Sports Go to watch Al Hilal play. Like, we know what the deal is, dog. You trying to cut checks. Your dad is running a business. You're a monopoly running around. And that's fine. You had a great impact on the game. You missed out on like 3 Champions League because you held the ball too long. Your PSG time, you were unsuccessful. And the one time they popped off, you were not there for it. The one time they popped off and went, then in the COVID run, wasn't he like injured during the COVID run?
No, he played in that final.
Okay, you played in the final. Well, we played in the final, you lost. So it didn't even
Exactly.
work anyways. During the COVID Cup, where it was single game elimination, with no crowd, no one booing you, you were just you couldn't get it cracking. You played
I
what,
think
20 games that year? That was a max for you because there's only 20 games in a season. And you
I
still couldn't get it cracking. You couldn't say you were tired.
and I think that well, I was like, whoa. I think that that match was 1-0 too. I mean,
It's crazy that you played on this team, but the stars on that team that year, the people that were balling were Mbappe and Di Maria. They were going crazy. Mbappe and Di Maria were going crazy. Like, I'm sorry. The big Jordan signing year, the big Real Madrid matchup, you got hurt. Like, what are we doing?
no, wait. I don't know
Then
which
remember the
season it was.
Marseille game? He got in that fight with the dude, then he got hurt again. I'm like, bro, what are we doing here?
I remember this was like the latest time they played Real Madrid. Was that yes, the latest time when Real Madrid won a couple of seasons ago. Dog, Neymar was absent, dude. Like Neymar was so bad.
It's
Like
two things with him, Bam. Either in the game, he gets what he wants, or he disappears. And when he gets what he wants, it's really weird. You know what I noticed about Neymar? He's so barky. Like he's so like he always has to kind of have like a rift or like a trash talk session or something. Like, dog, why do you always have to have beef every game? Like either you're a ghost and then you get subbed out, or he's being all weird, making faces, looking tired and injured, like, oh, doing this, or he's in the game doing his thing, and then he's starting to get chippy, like starting to draw fouls, talking. Even the Bolivia game, it's like you scored this Pele goal, and you're running mouth talk with a Bolivian center back. Like, what are we doing, bro? You're 31. It's just
you know,
chill out. Stop showing us who you really are. Just be corporate again. This is ridiculous, dog.
it's just the thing with Neymar. Like, and I don't want to go over his whole
Yeah,
history because we've done it a million
we
times.
done it.
It's just when you're leaving PSG and you're saying you lived through hell.
That's
It's like it's like
that's a
dog. Like
crazy thing. You know, live
it's
through hell. The WhatsApp messages, that was hell.
ooh,
Okay.
uh, like it's just like dog. Like you're one of the top three highest paid players in the world. You're in a situation like you were there for 6 seasons. Oh, and you know what I want to
Wasn't
say
he getting
too?
like 420K weekly
Th-
in
th-
euros? He was getting
No,
stupid
he's like
salary.
no, like 700,000.
You were in
This
hell.
is this is something I want to say too, and this is honestly like I'm not even like this person all the way,
Yeah.
but there's something like this kind of rubs me the wrong way too.
Let me take my
There's
glasses
been
off.
so many players that have come to PSG who are not French. Marquinhos, Verratti, Cavani, whoever,
Donnarumma. Yeah.
who?
Donnarumma, all these guys.
Okay, I'm kind of including guys who came like a little bit ago.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
I've seen these three
Di Maria, all
players.
these dudes. Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen these three players get up in front of the media and speak French. Neymar never made no effort to learn any
And
French,
I'm
dude.
not even trying to be cool. It's really not that hard to learn French from Portuguese.
And
Like, it's not a hard it's a much easier transition from somebody speaking like base English or like German. It's a
of
much easier
course.
transition for someone to speak Portuguese to French.
And I'm just like, dog, like even that, like I feel like it's kind of like disrespectful. It's like you've been there since 2017. I never seen Neymar get up there and speak no French. I seen Cavani speak French. I seen him over there speaking French. I've seen him speak like he'll go to the people like, oh, they're talking to him. He's like talking. He's like my French isn't that great, but like let's go. And he like does this stuff. Verratti speaks good French. Marquinhos speaks good French. How come Neymar never had no time to learn no French? You've been there since 2017.
I seen Hazard smiling trying to practice Spanish.
Like I seen Bale speak Spanish. I seen
Yeah.
Bale do an interview in Spanish. They're all trying to say he didn't speak Spanish. I'm like, no, he did. I seen him.
Big Dumbo Lukaku speaks 7 languages.
Like I just feel like
Yeah.
Neymar, like probably after like 2 seasons, was like, okay, you know what? You know what I think? Probably after when France won the World Cup and Mbappe was balling out, he probably was like over it. He's like, whatever, dude. Like
I think when I think when Mbappe won the World Cup, that was like kind of crazy.
because that
Like,
was the next season. He came there 2017. Then it was the 2018 World Cup next season. France when Mbappe was crazy.
In that World Cup, he was in God mode. It was
He was
like
crazy.
that makes when that dude's coming back to your team, you're like, damn, I'm really not the best here no more. God damn.
Exactly. And he probably was just like, fuck it. Like, well, I'm gonna sign another contract. I'm gonna get more money and I'm just gonna coast it
My leg
out.
out.
Hmm?
I'm gonna get hit a little harder on these tackles.
Like, no, hit me harder, hit me harder.
Like, yeah, dog, yeah, you were in hell. You were playing Red Bull Counter-Strike tournaments on your gaming PC. You were flying to Sao Paulo when you weren't supposed to. You were getting MCL injuries, but taking flights for 14 hours. What's the number one post-surgery? Aren't you not supposed to do that kind of stuff? Funny, man. That sounds like a personal hell, right? No, I think there's players that can advocate for maybe they did a big transfer and they're having a hard time getting out because maybe English wages are too high and they're not acclimating well. It's difficult for sure. But you came to a team stacked with Brazilians. There's Brazilian there. The player manager was Brazilian or whatever. Like the athletic director at one point was a Brazilian guy. Like don't try to paint yourself as a victim. You're not a victim.
Not a victim.
You're not a victim.
No.
You
And
were
Messi
in
wasn't
multiple
either.
situations where you were controversial. You weren't a victim either.
No.
So stop having this mentality, okay? You were not a victim. You initiated things. You took opportunities for financial gain.
Yes.
And you did not get the competitive experience you wanted. That doesn't make you a victim.
No. It just
Sorry,
makes
dog.
Yeah, it just makes you probably made a bad decision by going there.
I'm gonna keep it real. You know what makes you a victim? A player that says, "Hey, I really want to leave this year, but if you guys want me to stay next year, I'll play. Okay, I'll play. And I'm just not going to resign because I've spent my time here and I want to move on to something different. But I will honor this club and play." And then the club goes, "No, motherfucker, no." It's like, whoa, okay, now I'm a victim because you're taking my rights away. That's the victim. The victim is someone who preaches for something they want and it's taken from them.
If PSG actually benched Mbappe for the whole season,
he would be a victim.
Yeah.
That's the situation where you could say that as a man who's the highest paid player in the team, now you are a victim. If Neymar did all this and then he's like, oh, and then PSG's like, you know what, bro, we're not going to play you. Neymar would be like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, now you're a victim. Now you're in hell. I agree. You're in hell.
Yeah, but you got to play and you just
you got to play.
And that's okay. Like, that's okay. But like, you can't blame anybody. You got to just like, y'all didn't win and it's okay. But you're not a victim. And to say that you and Messi were living in hell being there, it's like, no. Like, and even Messi saying like, I didn't really want to go there. It's like, say that you didn't want to go there because you would have liked to stay at Barcelona. But also keep it real. You left because Barcelona couldn't pay you what you wanted to make. Like, that's the part you're leaving out. Like, you're not being all the way honest. PSG is a team that can give you everything you want financially, all the private jets and stuff that you wanted Barcelona to give you, they can do it. So, did you want to go there? Actually, you did. But
well, before this timer goes out,
yes, quickly.
Prediction. What do you think PSG finishes this year?
Oh, they're gonna win. They're gonna win Liga
for sure.
You
think they're gonna win Liga?
Yeah, they'll win Liga. I feel like when it comes to Champions League,
that's when I feel like it's kind of gritty.
I feel like City is still better than them.
Yeah,
I feel like Barcelona is better than them. If Barcelona has their full team. Real Madrid, depending on what happens with Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid still
back.
So iffy right now, but they have a team that can win Champions League. They do.
They've showed it. They didn't really change much other than
I think they upgraded. I think not having Neymar is an upgrade.
All right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think PSG is going to win Champions League this year. I think PSG is going to get second.
They'll lose in the final.
Close race.
Second in Ligue 1?
Yeah, close race.
With who?
I'm feeling drama. It's feeling like a drama year. We're starting off the offseason weird. It's feeling like a drama year.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you know what I mean? We made a podcast. Holler, we are back.
Goddamn.